We get you up to speed on the latest in sports. I'm Sean Yao. Naturalized player Justin Brownlee will make his national team debut later as part of the Gilas Final 12 against Lebanon. Brownlee will be with Barangay Ginebra teammates Scotty Thompson and JB Malonzo, and also with Junmar Fajardo, Calvin Oftana, CJ Perez, Mason Amos, and B-League boys Jordan Heading, Bobby Ray Parks Jr., Dwight Ramos, and the Ravenna brothers Kiefer and 30. Meanwhile, Ramos' inclusion in the Final 12 makes him the only player to suit up for Gilas in all 6 windows of the FIBA World Cup Asian qualifiers. The Lebanon game will tip off later at 6 p.m. at the Philippine Arena in Bulacan. This will be the first Gilas game in that venue since the infamous brawl with Australia in 2018. One glaring hole in Gilas' Final 12 is big man presence, following the absence of Japet Aguilar and Kai Soto. How should the team address this if it wants to win against Lebanon? Isaac Go weighs in as he joins Paulo Del Rosario and Diego Dario in the game. Let's take a listen.
Number one, you have one of the greatest PBA players of all time in Junmar Fajardo, and I think there may be people thinking that he's slowing down, he's getting up there in age, but Junmar Fajardo is still one of the best Filipino basketball players that we have. And of course, we're gonna see Justin Brownlee probably a little bit out of position because his best position is probably the 3, but I think with the height problem, he'll be sliding more to the 4, and maybe we see some young guys like Mason Amos, Kevin Kimball get more of a chance to perform and given the role on how to see they will fit in Gilas' future plans. Probably the defensive end. We know that we have guys who can put the ball in the basket. We have Justin Brownlee. But it's going to be in the defensive end because I don't think we'll have problems putting points up on the board. It's if we can contain the our opponents to a lower score than us.
Moving on to volleyball, the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the PLDT High Speed Hitters each scored wins in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. Marty Bautista with the story.
Flying Titans and the Army Black Mamba Energy Drink Lady Troopers.
The Choco Mucho Flying Titans entered the game against the Army Black Mamba, missing 2 key players in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. Des Cheng and Bea De Leon were out for various reasons. After a hard-fought first set, the Titans won the next 2 to go 1-set win away from the victory. The 4th set was also as close as it got, with neither team wanting to pull away from the other.
And that will be another point.
Tied at 25 apiece, Janet Villarreal scored on a hit that went over Choco Mucho's backline defense before a miss hit by Caitlin Varay ended the extended set.
They played the game the right way. And right now, so far so good for Choco Mucho. Here comes Bautista with a drop.
Choco Mucho went in for the kill in the 5th frame, drilling in 12 of the first 17 points to finish off the Black Mamba. The Flying Titans survive a thriller with final score 3-25, 25-20, 25-16, 25-27, and 15-11.
We go to Tolentino, tucks it in.
Kat Tolentino led the way with 20 points, while Isa Molde had 19 for Choco Mucho. They now hold an even 2-2 win-loss card, while Army remains winless in 4 games.
Well, I'm sure because of the scouting reports, both teams have studied.
Their game between the PLDT High Speed Hitters and Petrogas Angels was also intense. After splitting the first 4 sets, which included a 31-29 win in the second by PLDT, the true test of character for both teams came in the final frame. With both teams fighting tooth and nail, a hit error came at the right time for Petrogas, enabling them to tie the game at 13 apiece. PLDT was able to get the point back before Michelle Morentes targeted the back line and won the game for the high-speed hitters. Final score 21-25, 31-29, 25-21, 21-25, 15-13 for PLDT. Morente and Marianne Mendres both had 21 points for the high-speed hitters. PLDT's win forges a 4-way tie with F2 Logistics, Cherry Tigo, and Creamline, all with a 3-1 win-loss record. At 2-2, tied with Choco Mucho. More PVL action is coming this Saturday at the Phil Sports Arena. The Creamline Cool Smashers will try to break free from that 4-team tie as they take on the Cherry Tigo Crossovers at 4 p.m. F2, meanwhile, will also gun for the top seed when they face the Signal HC Spikers at 6:30 p.m. Catch the games live on One Sports and One Sports Plus. For News 5, Marty Bautista, we are One News.
We're taking a timeout. The game on One News Now will be back after a short break. Keep it here. You're still watching the game on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Golden State Warriors superstar Steph Curry is making good progress on rehab for his left leg injury, but he is still expected to miss at least a week of play. Curry has resumed his on-court but still non-contact workout after his February 4 injury. There's no timetable yet for the chef's actual return, but he will be reevaluated by the team in a week's time. The Warriors have been struggling to win games, snatching only 2 victories out of 5 in Curry's absence. This year, Curry has been averaging 29 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. In boxing, Jake Paul and Tommy Fury have agreed to an all-or-nothing wager after a heated exchange ahead of their fight. Paul and Fury will face off in a light heavyweight bout, which was almost 3 years in the making. The fight has been delayed twice due to Fury's injuries and visa issues. Both media personalities expressed their commitment to a career in pro boxing, and threw shade at each other each other's prior resumes. Paul has won all 6 previous fights, while Fury boasts of an 8-0 record. The two will box it out on February 26 at the Diriyah Arena in Saudi Arabia.
You know, I'm Tommy's end goal. This is the biggest opportunity of his life. He's never been on a stage like this. He's never gotten a payday like this. He was getting paid, you know, peanuts compared to this. So really, this is what I do now.
I'm ready to go and put this all to bed, because for the past 2.5 years, all it's been is, when are you fighting Jake Paul? Da-da-da-da. To even mention my name in the same sentence as that, it's disrespectful to me, who's been boxing my whole life. And I'm going to clinically knock this guy out early.
And in tennis, Australian Open champ Novak Djokovic is hoping to be allowed to enter the United States to play. The world number 1 applied for a special permission to fly into the U.S. to compete in the ATP Masters 1000. The event will take place in Indian Wells in California and in Miami beginning next month. The U.S. currently has a vaccine requirement for foreign air travelers, which could mean that the Serbian ace could miss out on the ATP Masters for a second straight years. Djokovic, who is one of the most high-profile athletes that has refused COVID-19 vaccination, will also be playing at the ATP Tour in Dubai next week.
Last year, I did miss both Indian Wells, Miami, and all the US Open swings, so it wouldn't be the first time if it happens. I mean, I hope it doesn't. But that's all I can do. All I can do is hope at the moment, because you know, my position stays the same. So there's not much else I can do except wish for a positive result.
Get your fill of the latest in sports at onesports.ph. Meantime, the Newsday continues later at 4:30 p.m. I'll see you then. I'm Sean Yao. Thanks for watching.